So Ricky, how come your mic cannot be unmuted? Is do you have a Sir ETM may restriction po ba
Ah,
sa microphones? Can
sandali.
anyone unmute themselves?
Teka lang, nawala siya.
I can.
Ay, ito.
He just turned off his video.
Maybe his.
Wala, Rico.
No restrictions.
Wala, pwedeng buksan.
Okay, can we try? Sister Karen, can you turn on your microphone just to say hello?
Hello po, can you hear me?
There, yes, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jack, can you turn on, please, real quick?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. And then we have from Quick Minds. Is this S? It reads Quick Minds BPP Inc. How about Fireflies? No take.
Hello.
Ayan pala eh.
Fireflies is my note taker.
Oh, okay.
Good morning.
There's Ricky. Hi, Ricky.
Good morning.
We got you. Good morning. And then, of course, we have Dennis. And then we have Mark. Mark, you there? Hello, Mark. Okay, great. All right. So fantastic. So everyone, I have the pleasure of introducing you, all of you, a good friend of mine. His name is Emelino Maestro. And today he'll give us an introduction on, oh, by the way, ETM, I have yours truly, my Commander-in-Chief.
Hello, Ele.
So, we're just sharing screens. Oh, Celeste. Celeste is Quick Minds. Okay, she's joining us. Hi, Celeste. Kamusta po kayo?
Hello, Celeste.
Yan, galing. So this morning, ETM for short, that's his nickname. ETM is going to give us an introduction into what the background of the software is about, specifically why a tax-based books of accounting system is a distinction to the entire tax process to prevent and to protect taxpayers from unnecessary scrutiny from gray areas of the tax law. And by employing a tax-based books of accounting system, you essentially audit-proof your accounts, your customers' accounts, by way of the books of accounts being presented in the way that it is fully compliant with the NIRC, and having done so, there will not be an instance requiring an audit, because an audit only arises where there is a questionable discrepancy from the perspective of the auditor, and that's the BIR. The BIR is the auditor. So if we present the books of accounts specifically compliant to what is prescribed by law, among all the gazillions of laws within the NIRC, then there will be no chance for the Bureau to actually have to initiate an audit process. And thereby you protect your clients ultimately. So without further ado, let me introduce each and every one then, one by one. Sister Karen was a former SGV auditor and CPA, and she still is a CPA today.
Hindi mawawala yun, sir.
Celeste is one of your mentees, Sir ETM. Dennis is a good friend, and he's the one who's looking after my what do you call this website, and we'll be doing the website of this platform as well with him. And then we have Mark. Mark is a programmer. Mark worked for you for a while, right? ETM, remember?
Yes,
Mark,
po.
Abby?
As an intern.
You remember Mark, Sir ETM?
Saan ba yun, sir?
It's my nephew.
Oo.
Okay. And then I have here Sir Ricky. Ricky owns his own accounting firm.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd also like to partner with him because he has quite a bit of what do you call these companies under his system, but they do things manually for now, and that's why I'd like to encourage him to see how this system will definitely benefit his his what they call this firm. And then
Okay.
we have two others. Okay. And then of course my commander in chief.
Morning.
Good morning.
So
Morning.
with no further ado, Sir ATM, take over please, and I shall mute.
Okay, mga ka-taxpayer kong mahal, I love you. So, pag-uusapan natin is tax accounting. So, ang una natin gagawin ay basahin ito. Anyone can read this. Sino ang pwedeng magbasa sa inyo niyan?
Are you sharing? Are you sharing, Sir ATM?
Ay, nga pala, sorry. Lecture. Teka muna, ba't ayaw? Ayusin ko lang tong aking bakit ayaw niyang mag-share.
Okay, ganyan po talaga basta high-tech.
Ang kailangan ko rito, setting. Nasa default pala ako eh. Punta ako rito. Oh. Ay, nako, nabura. So, ano nakikita nyo na, sir? Sa Rico. Old Samson. Ito pala. Brio. Ayan, sir. Ano na nakikita nyo? Sa Rico.
Wala pa po. Wala pa po.
Ito, nakikita nyo na mukha ko?
Yes.
Ito, nakikita nyo to?
Yes.
Pakibasa mo nga.
Naka siya eh. Special characters eh.
Hindi na
Ang binabasa mo kasi ngayon ay tax code.
Okay, kaya hindi maintindihan.
Kaya hindi mo maintindihan. So, kung pabalik, that's a Russian word. Ibig sabihin, pag binasa mo, yan ang ibig sabihin, yan ang basa, yan ang pronunciation. Yab, yub, lub, yab, bas. Yay, yub, blue, bas. Sa English, I love you.
Okay.
Sa Pilipino, mahal kita. Okay? So, ang ibig ko lang sabihin, ang tax accounting,
Sir, excuse me lang hindi po kayo naka-full screen.
hindi ako naka-full screen.
Hindi po. Nakikita lang namin kayo as a thumbnail.
Okay.
Ako lang ba? Does everybody see him as a full screen?
Hindi. No.
No? Naka-thumbnail lang po kayo eh. Although nakikita ko na yung sinishare nyo.
Yan.
Ayan. Nagkakaroon na. Okay. Good. Thank you.
So, ano na ba ako?
Yes po.
Okay. Pasensya na.
Okay lang.
So ang tax accounting is it's a foreign language. So, as a foreign language, kailangan mag-exert ka ng effort to understand a foreign language. So, yun lang yun. Kaya pinabasa ko sa inyo na mahirap palang magbasa at umintindi. Siyempre, pag hindi mo kayang basahin, hindi mo kayang intindihin. Pag hindi mo kayang intindihin, hindi mo kayang i-apply at hindi mo alam ang ano magiging effect sa'yo. So, pag alam natin yung salitang I love you, alam mo na kagad yung effect sa'yo. Nangiti nga sa atin si Bossing Rick nung sinabi nating I love you. Now, ganun din sa tax code. Okay? Kailangan nating intindihin paano ba yung the shortest way to understand a tax code. So, tax code kasi, isipin natin, sorry sa araw na to, ititreat ko kayo as a babies. Ang dinidiscuss ko sa iyo ngayon sa araw na to is papaano ba i-impart, ituro yung tax code. Napakahirap ituro ng tax code. Kahit na mga BIR officials, nagkakamali rin. So,
Sir, sorry
yes.
to interject. Naka-record na po ba tayo?
Sige, naka-record ako. So, paano ba matuto ang isang baby? Okay. So, yung Pilipina o yung mother, Pilipina man siya o ano man yung nasyon niya, pag pumunta siya sa Russia at doon siya nanganak at pinalaki niya yung anak niya ron, definitely hindi naman Pilipino o Tagalog yung matututunan niya, kundi yung Russian word. Ibig sabihin, paano natututo yung baby? Hindi to original sa akin Pinag-aralan ko kasi kung paano matuto ang isang tao. So, I started pag-aralan yung baby. So, nakita ko rin to sa YouTube. So, ang baby pala, kaya sa madaling matuto, walang rule nang nag-govern sa kanya, papaano siya matuto. So, ang tawag pala doon ay comprehensible input. Yung madaling maintindihan niya. So, ang baby, hindi siya natututo, kundi nag-a-acquire siya ng language. Ayan. Yung isa, acquisition. Siyempre, pag nag-acquire ka, para ding nag-a-acquire ka ng lupa o bahay, nagiging iyo. Ownership ang nangyayari. Whereabout doon, compare mo doon sa learning, pag nagsasalita tayo, katulad ngayon, pag nagsasalita ako, ine-edit ko yung salita ko Why? Kasi yung kailangan lumabas sa bibig ko, must conform with the rule. So, hindi ko siya ma-express dun sa gusto ko. So, ngayon, i-express ko yung tax code as if kayo ay mga babies ko. Kaya sabi ko kanina, I love you. So, umpisa natin yung pagte-training natin. Ang gagawin lang ho ninyo ngayon sa araw na to, makinig kayo sa akin. Kasi ang baby, habang nag-aaral siya, hindi naman siya nagsasalita pabalik. Wala siyang sinasabi, kundi purely nakikinig siya. So, siyempre, pag may nakikinig, may nagtatransmit. Okay? May nagtatransmit ng information papunta sa kanya. And today, ako po yung magiging lecturer ninyo. From my brain, dadaling ko sa tenga ninyo yung dapat ninyong maintindihan. So, let us start. Pag pinag-uusapan natin ang tax accounting, mayroong layers. So, ang tax accounting is composed of, in general, commonly used, pero hindi pinapractice. Commonly known, pero hindi pinapractice, yung tatlong layers ng accounting. Ng tax accounting, most particularly, tax accounting. May tatlo siyang layer, katulad ng soil, may mga layers. So, ang unang layer ng tax accounting is value-added tax. Because ang value-added tax, yun yung daily transaction natin. We buy, we sell. We buy goods, we buy services, we sell goods, we sell services. Yun lang ang transaksyon sa value-added tax. Huwag kayong magkakaroon ng iba pang klasing interpretasyon because yun lang ang purpose ng value-added tax. If there is a sale, there is VAT. If there is no sale, then there is no VAT. If there is a purchase, there is VAT. If there is no purchase, there is no VAT. So, VAT accounting ang selling at ang buying. So, since siya ay buying and selling, merong papasok ngayong dapat mangyari. May chart of account yung buying at saka yung selling. So, saan makukuha yung chart of account ng buying and selling? Mamaya ako didiscuss yun. May lingwahe, may foreign language para sa value-added tax. May foreign language sa value-added tax for sales. May foreign language sa value-added tax for purchases. Yun lang yung gustong sabihin ng tax code. Next layer is the withholding tax accounting. So, kung mapapansin nyo, yung isa value-added tax, yung isa withholding tax. Pareho silang tax, pero may sarili silang layer. So, susunod na layer is hindi para sa seller and the buyer, which is the value-added tax. Ang withholding tax ngayon is a relationship between the taxpayer and the BIR. So, an obligation is created na meron ngayong contractual obligation ang BIR at ang taxpayer, ang withholding agent to be exact, na mag-comply sa withholding tax law. So, therefore, meron again chart of accounts of foreign language na required ang withholding tax law. So, it is separate and distinct from the value-added tax law. Pareho silang law, pero hindi sila pwedeng i-harmonize because meron silang specific purpose at specific actors and actresses. Again, for value-added tax, the actors and the actresses are the buyers and the sellers. Here in withholding tax, the actors and the actresses are the BIR officials, the government on one side, and the withholding agents on the other side. Ganun na kasimple yan, bossing. And the last but not the least is the income tax layer. Ayan. So, sa income tax layer, ang relationship mo naman is, again, sa government at yung management. Because ang income tax is determined by the decision of the management. Hindi naman alam ng BIR kung yung expenses mo gagawin mong capital asset or fixed asset eh. Hindi. Ikaw yung magde-decide. Yung kotse, sa dealer ng kotse, inventory yun. Or cost of sale. Pero pagdating sa iyo, binili mo yung kotse, ginagawa mo siyang fixed asset. So, decision maker ka kung ano mangyayari dun sa pinurchase mo na subject sa withholding tax. So, ini-incorporate ko na silang tatlo. Now, of course, since ang income tax is again separate and distinct from withholding tax law, from value-added tax law, kahit magkakasama sila sa isang tinatawag nating tax law or tax code, iba pa rin yung treatment nila sa isa't isa. So, kung income tax yan, may sarili din niyang foreign language. May sarili siyang chart of account. Okay? Now, after that, bago ka makapunta dyan sa foreign language na yan, kailangan mong meron kang equipment. So, kailangan mong meron kang hard hat, meron kang damit, at meron kang tools. So, ikaw yan. You listen, you read, and you research. So, yan yung mga kailangan mong tools para madig mo yung kailangan mong gagawin. It's a layer. Kailangan may effort kang gagawin para mo ma-achieve yung knowledge na dala-dala ng value-added tax law, ng withholding tax law, at ng income tax law. Now, ang susunod dyan is kailangan mong mag-travel. So, traveling from one point to another point. Yun lang ang ibig sabihin ng travel pagdating sa tax. So, paano tayo magta-travel? O tinatawag ko siyang progression. Okay? Progression. So, ito po yung progression. Sa batas natin, you start with source document. Ang source document, yung form at substance ng source document ay na-establish na ng tax code. At each layer na pinag-uusapan natin, value-added tax, withholding tax, at saka income tax, may sari-sariling source documents. Maaring yung source document nila ay nag-merge, pero iba-iba yung interpretasyon sa kahit iisang source document. Kaya dyan pumapasok yung bookkeeper o yung accountant. Kasi sila yung nagpe-prepare ng substance, nag-i-interpret ng substance, at nagre-report ng substance. Kaya ba pupunta ngayon tayo sa susunod na progression. So sa progression ito, makikita ninyo gumamit ako ng eroplano. Because kailangan yung lumipad papunta ng books of accounts. So sa books of accounts, kaya nire-require ng batas natin ng books of accounts, nagiging technical ako, nire-require niya na i-interpret mo yung source document based sa iyong transaction. Number 1, facts. And application of the tax law. So may dalawa kang gagawin. 1, ayusin mo yung factual mo. And number 2, ayusin mo yung legal basis mo. Yun lang gusto nilang sabihin. And then, i-marry mo sila, i-merge mo sila into one. Then, you will have to make an entry. That's the end result. That's the outcome. To make an entry in the books of accounts. Walang makapagdidikta sa'yo kung anong entry yan. Ikaw lang yun. So, it is proper and appropriate na yung chart of account mo ay tumatama sa form and substance o sa foreign language ng value-added tax, withholding tax, at saka ng income tax. And the last is, after mong ima-interpret yung iyong source document, lilipad ka uli papunta ng R&R. What is R&R? Reports and returns. These reports and returns are already fixed by the BIR. Ibig sabihin, sinet up na nila kung ano itsura, ano laman, dinescribe. Sabi nga, dinefine, in-specify, pinescribe yung form and substance. Ikaw na lang yung magpifill in the blank ng reports and returns. So, kung ganon, naka-fix na to. Okay, naka-fix na to. Kung naka-fix na to, kung ito yung end result, dapat yung end result makikita rito sa BOA. Okay? Babaguhin ko yung kulay ng aking. So, kung ito yung end result, dapat yung R&R makikita verifiable sa BOA at makikita verifiable sa source document. Yan yung dinedefine, pine-prescribe at ine-specify ng ating tax code. Now, i-combine mo na ngayon silang tatlo sa tatlo. Layer, progression. So, ang BAT dadaan sa source document, dadaan sa books of accounts, dadaan sa matatapos sa reports and return. Ang withholding tax, ganun din. And IT, ganun din. So, let us start immediately. Source document. So, ang source document, selling, buying. Depende pa kung anong goods yung binibili mo. Let us go sa buying, sa selling. Okay, selling. So, kung nagbenta tayo ng bisikleta, which is goods, ano yung source document niyan? Sabi ng batas, sales invoice. May choice ka ba na gumamit ng ibang format o substance ng sales invoice? Wala. Dinikta na kung ano yung minimum requirement ng sales invoice. In fact, pag hindi, ang batas kasi natin, para tayo mapuwersa o mapush na gumawa na aayon sa batas, ang laging pinanlalaban nila, ikukulong kita. Pananakot lagi eh. So, hindi ako naniniwala sa pananakot eh. Lalo lang hihinto yung tao sa pananakot. Dapat, ang gusto ko sana is encouragement. Encouragement. So, ini-encourage ko kayo na huwag kayong gagamit ng anumang dokumento pag nagbebenta kayo ng goods. Kasi ang sabi na nga, sales invoice. Yun yung isang source document. Ngayon, pag nagbebenta naman tayo ng services, ang nire-require ng batas ay official receipt. Ayan, di ko pala nila. Yung services, the official receipt. So, na-discover na natin, pagdating sa selling, ang source documents, dalawa. Pero, wina-warn ko lang kasi kayo ngayon, pag pumasa na ho yung batas na ease of paying taxes, which is malapit na hong pumasa, isa na lang hong resibo ang gagamitin ng buong publiko ng taxpayer kung hindi invoice na lang. At ipagbabawal na ang paggamit ng official receipt. Pero ngayon, since hindi pa pumapasa ho yung batas, dalawa pa ho yung resibong pinagagamit sa atin. Kahit na ikaw, katulad ko, nagbebenta ako ng goods, at the same time, nagbabenta rin ako ng services. So, ang ginagamit ko, sales invoice pag nagbebenta ako ng goods, at official receipt pag nagbebenta ako ng services. So, bago ka makapaggamit ng sales invoice o official receipt, ire-require ka ng BIR na magparehistro for the purpose of double-checking kung yung mga minimum requirements o contents ng resibo mo o arman siya o ng iyong sales invoice are in accordance with the requirement of the tax code. Yun lang naman ang purpose ng BIR eh. So, kung alam mo yung requirement ng tax code, kopyahin mo na lang. Huwag kang mawawala doon. Pero ang susunod na tanong dyan is, kung kokopyahin ko yung, pwede ba akong magdagdag ng other boxes, other items sa loob ng sales invoice, official receipt? Yes. Pero hindi ko nire-recommend. Kasi yung mga items na gusto mong idagdag, maaaring gamitin laban sa'yo. So, I suggest, doon ka lang sa bare minimum na nire-require ng tax code para wala tayong problem. Do not give BIR officials the opportunity to interpret your documents in accordance with their personal interest or personal gain. Stick to the rule. Ganun lang kasimple. So, ito na yung dinidiscuss ko. Hindi ko lang napunta. Ayan. So, source document. Now, pagdating sa value added tax ngayon, magmi-meet silang dalawa dito sa layer na to. Okay. Yun yung requirement ng value added tax. Now, ililipat ngayon natin yung source document natin papunta ngayon ng books of accounts. Para maging successful yung ating paggawa ng entry, andiyan dyan si Celeste, entry lang naman yan sa libro eh. Ang problem naming mga CPAs, sa dami ng nakita kong financial statement, pare-pareho namang financial statement yan, pero iba-iba yung kanilang chart of, yung kanilang accounting titles. Bakit ka ako iba-iba? Eh, hindi naman nire-require ng batas natin na iba-iba. In fact, ang pinopromote nga ng Constitution natin, the rule of taxation must be uniform and equitable. So, kung kaming mga accountant, nag-iiba-iba yung aming chart of account, paano magiging uniform at equitable? So, pinapapasok mo ngayon yung discretionary ng BIR o ng mga revenue officer to interpret your transaction because may sarili kang interpretation. Sabi ko nga, pag gumawa ka ng chart of account mo, at the end of the day naman, ang pinakatatakutan naman ng mga taxpayer, hindi naman yung SEC, hindi naman yung bangko. Ang kinatatakutan ng taxpayer, yung BIR. Bakit hindi natin sundin yung sinasabi ng BIR? Actually, meron nang rule ang BIR kung ano content ng financial statement mo. At meron nang Supreme Court decision na nagsasabi kung pwede nyong i-check Lancaster versus BIR na ang Revenue Audit Memorandum Order shall prevail over the generally accepted accounting principle and the Philippine Financial Reporting Standard. So, alam naman natin, pag ang Supreme Court ang nagsalita, it forms part of our legal system. Since ang Revenue Audit Memorandum Order na ginagamit ng BIR para i-audit ang isang taxpayer is a law of the land based on our Supreme Court decision, it is proper na tayong mga CPAs, tayong mga taxpayer especially, gamitin natin yung Revenue Audit Memorandum Order. So sa Revenue Audit Memorandum Order, pinopromote, ine-encourage, at pinupush yung paggamit ng specific chart of account. Maliwanag yung nakasulat sa... Ang bago ngayong Revenue Audit Memorandum Order, for your information, yung tinatawag na RAMO 1-2020. Kalalabas lang last year. So, paano, sir, ginogovern yan? So, kailangan natin ngayon is yung libro. So, sa libro natin, nagme-merge ngayon sa libro natin yung source document at yung BIR form. Dito sila nagme-merge. Ayan. So, ang ibig ko lang sabihin, yung books of accounts natin, subsidiary sales journal o tinatawag na sales book. Ang laman niya dapat, yung source document mo, which is the input, at saka yung BIR form mo, which is the output. So, may kukunin kang informasyon sa loob ng resibo mo, which is called transaction, at meron kang kukuning informasyon sa BIR form, which is called accounting title. Both of them comprise your books of accounts. Yan yung content ng books of accounts mo. Transaction, galing sa source document, at chart of account na galing sa BIR form. Now, ano yung transaction na galing sa resibo? Una, yung date. Date of transaction. Gumagawa tayong libro kasi ang objective sa araw na ito, makagawa ng entry sa books of accounts. Okay, hatiin ko. Ito, source document. So, ano importante sa source document? Date, sales amount, purchaser, TIN ng purchaser, address. Yun yung ipapasok mo sa libro. Pagdating naman dito, sa libro, ang kailangan nito, date din. Entry naman. Ang tinatanong niya ngayon, sales account. Form of payment. O manner of payment. Yan yung requirement natin. So, gagawa muna tayo ng chart of account. Kasi ito, diniscuss ko, headings. So, punta muna ako dito. Ito, ang pinanggalingan niya, BIR form. Since ang pinag-uusapan natin, sales, anong magandang BIR form ang gagamitin natin? BIR form 2550Q? BIR form 1601 EQ? BIR form 1701 or 1702? Again, nasa first layer tayo. VAT. So, VAT accounting, lahat muna ang gagawin ng lahat ng klase ng taxpayer sa buong Pilipinas. So, gagamit tayo ng BIR form 2550Q for VAT accounting. Ano, sir, ang merong... hindi ko nakita. Ayan. Ano, sir, ang meron sa BIR form 2550Q pag VAT accounting? The accounting title. Sir, accounting title, yes. Ang BIR form has the accounting titles na kailangan natin. So, pinag-uusapan natin ang sales. Okay. So, ilang klase, usually, ang mga accountant, pag nagre-record ng sales, financial accounting muna tayo para maintindihan nyo itong sinasabi ko. Financial accounting. Okay? Debit, cash, credit, sales, credit, sabihin na natin, but output. Itong portion na to, ayan, itong portion na to, nagbibigay ng discretionary yan eh. Discretionary power sa BIR. Why? General term yung ginamit. At hindi siya terminology ng taxation. At hindi mo siya makikita sa BIR form 2550Q. Dapat ang gamitin mo 2550Q kasi yun yung target mo eh. Yun yung destination ng iyong entry. Yun yung return reports and return. So nakasulat sa 2550Q apat na klase, 4 types of sales. Number 1, BAT private. Ibig sabihin, nagbenta ka sa non-government. 2, BAT government. Nagbenta ka sa government. 3, BAT exempt. Ang binenta mo ay goods or services na hindi subject sa value-added tax. At yung pang-apat is BAT zero. Yung binenta mo, yung goods or services ay lumabas ng bansa. So, ibig lang sabihin, pagdating sa sales, may apat na consideration o accounting title ang ginagamit. Ang sinasabi is defined, specified, and prescribed. Walang sale na define, walang sale na pinescribe, walang sale na in-specify. Ang in-specify, BAT private sale, BAT government sale, BAT exempt sale, and BAT zero sale. Yun yung entrada sa value-added tax. So, magta-tax accounting tayo ngayon, ito ngayon yung entry sa libro. Do-double entry ko na lang para sa mga nandito. Pero later on, gagawa tayo ng tabulated entry na gamit yung subsidiary sales journal. Debit cash, credit BAT private, and credit BAT output. So ngayon, hindi maliligaw ngayon itong entry mo kasi itong dalawang entry na to, papasok sila sa 2550Q. Now, yun yung lecture ko sa araw na to. Very basic. Then tuturo ko na sa susunod na meeting natin yung paggamit ng tax, BOA. Sir, nasa iyo ba yung ano na yan? Pwede ba nilang gamitin yung tax BOA mo ngayon?
Baka yung nasa computer, yung tax BOA? Ay, hindi. Teka. Naka-online tayo, di ba, sir? Ikaw mag-access?
Hindi. Ang sinasabi ko lang, paggamit mo na sa kanila and then sa susunod na lecture ko, magta-tax BOA na tayo. Pa-acclimate mo lang muna sa kanila. Itong lecture ko lang naman dito is para malaintindihan nila paano yung process. Ang tawag kasi dito ay due process ng tax accounting.
Correct. But I thought you wanted to give them an introduction before precisely walking.
This is yung walking through, yung system walkthrough natin. Next meeting na yon. Tapos na ako sa introduction ko.
Yes. So sa system walkthrough,
bigyan mo silang
set up natin yung accounts nila. Sige.
Correct. Tapos tsaka tayo mag-meeting.
Mag-set up na tayo ng accounts individually. Jack, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so let's coordinate with all the participants of the intro today, and then let's create accounts already. May account for each one, so that they can just tinker around with it.
And then let us meet again. Gamitin na natin yung program. Ang sinabi ko lang dito is ibubuod ko lang, isa-summarize ko yung sinabi ko. So may matrix yung taxation. But withholding tax tsaka income tax, source document, books of accounts, and return. So each box hindi pwede tayong tumalon. Ang BAT may progression, ang source document may layer. That's the basic information na dapat matutunan kung gagamit ng program natin.
Okay, sir, baka we can ask our participants to give feedback, or they might have questions for clarification to the rationale for
Nakakatidila ako.
this process.
Sige, kung meron silang questions, edi I'm glad I'm available na accessible ngayon para sagutin sila.
Sir Ricky, do you have any questions or comments?
Any questions?
None so far.
Dennis, any inputs, questions?
No, I think this is I love the philosophy. Pretty straightforward. I also have a
Coming choppy. You're coming in choppy. Yeah, okay, but anyway, we got it straightforward for you. Celeste, may comments po kayo?
Hello, sir. Opo. Actually, sir, na-recall ko ito yung whole family ETM before. So, okay naman po. Nakakasunod.
So, kaya lang importante.
And I think po na very useful siya sa taxpayers po. And sa practice din namin. Ating lahat.
Correct.
Opo. Thank you, sir.
Salamat, Celeste.
Salamat,
Sir.
Celeste. So, the rationale for giving us an overview of this is because when we get into the interface of the software, essentially, this is going to be the field.
Correct.
Every field that we are going to be setting up will be primarily based on this perspective, which is the perspective of the law. So it might not appear immediately familiar to accountants who might be more familiar with the generally accepted accounting principle, but at least this rationalizes or explains why the software has been constructed in this way, not in a way that it limits the user, but rather to ensure tax compliance, to prevent precisely providing the auditors a discretionary interpretation of the entries that one might select.
Correct. That's the specific objective.
Not open to unnecessary scrutiny.
Oh. The objective is to deprive the BIR to use its power and authority
For the discretionary area.
Discretionary area.
By simplifying this, we keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Keep it
And
simple.
Becomes perfectly compliant.
Kukulang ka naman, sir. Keep it simple. Ano yung isang susunod na S?
keep it stupid, simple.
Keep it simple.
The sweetheart kayo naman, no?
Okay. Quiche na yung quiche. Okay, pun intended. So,
Rico, excuse me. May
Yes,
I
sir.
ask?
Yes,
Is
sir.
the system multi-user?
Yes. Multi-user.
Okay.
Ito yung accounting entry, oh. Ginawa ko na. Ginawan ko ng entrada ang buong tax code.
So yung buong libro na yan, ETM basically is inside the software, right?
Correct.
So for me, the philosophy is great. What I'm interested in seeing in the software is how can we get transactions into it easily, because we currently we have transactions coming in from online payment gateways. And they are lots and lots of small transactions that we have to account for the back. So what I want to do is eliminate the potential human error or
Correct.
mistakes,
Correct.
right?
Mm.
And try to create, a formula where there's people, but the process and technology are so sound that the people are just managing by exception to review and find anomalies, right? But I'm just curious if we can integrate with specifically with Stripe, Zendit payment gateways, or and then for our customers, if it other payment gateways locally like Paymongo, all the local ones and the ones in Southeast Asia. But that's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Okay, that's an area of code development that we can actually look into, Denise.
Okay, so cool. Well, let's see how it looks today, and then maybe there's another short-term option to get transactions in.
Correct. So we'll do that in our next meeting. So ETM, are we suggesting we need to create another meeting for next Wednesday, same time, 10 o'clock?
Of course.
Is there a chance you can access the system right now, just to give them a quick overview of how it looks like?
A quick overview of the system.
Yeah.
I do not have an account.
Okay. That's why I asked you prior to this if we were going to
I suggest that they must first use the system without any knowledge of a prior knowledge of using the same system, so that we can identify the potential problem.
All right. So you want everyone to come in cold,
Mm-hmm.
use it, break it,
Mm-hmm. Stress test it.
and just tell us what's the interface like, what's boggling about it, what's discomforting about it.
I'm sorry sa mga CPAs na nandito kasi pag ito ay naging successful, medyo mababawasan yung income natin. Because ang objective ng system na to is tanggalin yung human error in complying with the law.
I don't think that's going to be a problem because, number one, if I were a CPA, I would look at this as an opportunity to actually expand my market. There's so much more. There's so much more, and there are so many.
Also,
You said it. Sorry, go ahead, Dennis.
ETM, I'm glad you mentioned that straightforward. And Rico, I'm not sure if you knew this, and for everybody else on the call, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. But prior to moving to the Philippines, I was the vice president for Xero, small business accounting software in the cloud in the US. And we were educating the entire CPA and bookkeeping community in the United States to transform their business from a transactional once in a quarter, right, once in a year service provider to a more advisory services provider, which is much, much more lucrative and much, much more competitive than handling transactions.
Yes, that's
So
true.
I think that's really what you guys are saying. And I'm sure everybody's familiar with Zero, but I don't know where the accounting community is in that transformation. But I think it's absolutely proven that that's most of where firms want to go.
Hmm.
Strategic advisory,
Yes.
right? Guidance, right? Because transaction problems only happen once in a while.
So the vision is we precisely provide the accounting software as a predefined compliant platform so that we minimize any human errors on the part of the bookkeepers. And then, of course, what we can do as an added service is, as you mentioned, we can then tailor fit to the specific account or to the enterprise the level of tax consultancy that they may require. And that can happen simply at the level of the advisory services by the CPA or by the accountant or by the bookkeeper, or it can also include advisory services inclusive of legal opinions vis-a-vis the tax laws and how they apply to that specific enterprise. So we're very open. It's an open platform, but we feel that it is this particular software that brings everyone into the cauldron. And then everyone can then customize it according to what they need. And that's what ETM and I envision. And that's where all of you come in, because we can customize all these services pursuant to what you feel your specific market niche requires. And that's where our partnership truly comes in. So that we empower you, and you guys can go out there and sell the system and make sure that every taxpayer simply has to focus on his marketing and his product development, and not worry about the taxman or knocking at his door because he's done something wrong, right? So that's the vision of this.
So,
Any other inputs?
any other questions?
Maybe you can just send an email to everybody on how to
Dennis, are you saying something? You're coming in really thin. We can't hear.
Hello.
There you go.
If you could just send an email to everybody on how to sign up and start in using the software, and then I'll forward it to my accountant.
All right. So what we'll do right now is, okay, I'll get Jack to coordinate with Cess, I guess, Dennis. We'll simply set up an account for you so that whoever it is you assign can just plunge in, and they can plunge in with Jack, and Jack can walk through anyone just freely. You just go for the feel of it. There's no right and wrong way of doing it in this initial phase. We just want to have a candid feedback. Oh, the software looks crap. Oh, the software looks simple enough. It's not daunting. We'd like that initial feedback in our next meeting.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Okay, so anyone and everyone that wants to try it out just for fun, just to acquire the knowledge, we'd be more than happy to set up an account immediately, and Jack's here to assist you.
Okay, well, I'll look for the email. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, dude. And then anyone else, Jack, can you kindly post your email address? info@mtax compliance, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you just type it into the group chat so that everyone sees how they can get in touch with you through email? But at the same time, what's your messenger identification? Is it Almarico, Jack? Okay.
Viber, sir.
Viber na lang?
Yes, sir.
All right, so what's the number for Viber? 530-4629?
540-4629.
Okay, so 0917-540-4629. You can Viber Jack the details or the names you want to use for your accounts, and then she'll set it up. And if you have any other questions, for any reason there are technical problems connecting with Jack, feel free to call me, please, and I'll make sure that we get everyone online. Any other concern? Miss Celeste, meron po kayong comments? Nandiyan po ba kayo, Miss Celeste? Dennis, are you saying something? We can see your frame flashing, but we don't hear you.
No, sorry, I was typing my email to Jackie.
Oh, go. No worries. All right. So there, Sir Ricky, and any other concern? What do you think of this, Sir Ricky?
It's too early. So tingnan
Okay.
natin.
All right.
But I message you our email, no?
Okay.
Sa ano mo. So let's see, tingnan natin. It's so simple naman kasi, it's not only that. Marami kasi ano eh. For a simple taxpayer, pwede. But for a company, medyo mag-expand. Cloud-based ba to?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So this is primarily first envision for the mom and pops.
O kasi pag cloud-based and then we're going to apply it in our clients, then magbabago kasi yung kanilang registration. Kasi right now, some of them are manuals.
Yes.
They maintain their books and manuals, so we have to change it if we're going to apply this kind of
Correct. That will be the prescription. Correct.
So let's see.
We can face it step by step. First, we need you to be familiar with the system. First, we need you to be familiar with the rationale behind tax-based books of accounting system. Then familiarize yourself with the system. Then let's see how we can progress it and scale it for the bigger enterprise accounts that we have.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think here the vision is, Ricky, you can hire us even independent bookkeepers to start working on the software and doing all the keying in the literally the digital bookkeeping services.
No, my idea is that with this system, is it possible, kaya tinanong ko multi-user, that one staff can do about, let's say, 10 clients at the same
Oh,
time,
20, 50. Not a problem.
using that system, one system.
Yes. Yeah.
Ano?
Yes, because every account, company A to company Z, and A1 to Z1, A2 to Z3, etc., can have their own individual accounts accessed by your people.
Maganda nga, Rico, kung pwedeng incorporate yung OCR wherein when documents are presented, no, papasok doon sa system, data na, digitalized
Where
data.
is ETM? ETM, can you answer that technical question? Is it here? Sir ETM?
Yung i-convert natin yung invoice saka OR into digital format.
Yes, para pagpasok, digital data na. I mean, the software itself will already read the data. So yun ang papasok. No need for the person keying in what is in the source document itself. It is on another application when the source document comes in that reads it and then it forms a digitalized document, no? When it reads it, data na.
Ganito sir yung dinevelop na na program. Ang program na yan ay books of accounts with electronic invoicing.
So,
It will replace the point of sale machine. So, pag nag-issue siya ng resibo, digitalized na talaga siya. Tsaka nag-e-entry na yung libro pagdating sa sales. Ngayon, may option yung program na yan, na gumawa ng tinatawag nating resibo to support expenses.
Are you talking about the person who is going to issue the sales invoice, ORs, no? Na digitalized, na papasok sa libro niya. What I'm trying to say is on the other side, wherein on our part, no? Our clients will send data, will send their source document. No? especially now, it's pandemic. We don't go to we don't go to our clients, no. It's them sending us the source document. So kung instead of looking it physically, no, this source document would enter this platform that I'm telling you, and then goes to your program, no. Papasok na yan as
As entry na.
yes, babasahin na niya kung ano yung nakalagay
And the
sa
way
invoice.
that will have to work is we will have to make sure that the suppliers of all our clients are also using the system. This is the beauty of this. We're going to create an entire ecosystem. So whether you're the supplier or you're the client, or you have a client and then the client has a supplier, if they use this system, then everything becomes digital. That's the ideal. That's the ideal.
Yes, especially kung before the end of the year, no? Kung ma-approve na yung digitalization ng resibo, tax invoice kasi yung tawag yan, gagayahin natin ibang mga bansa like Singapore. So, either that this tax invoice will be prepared online, or everyone would be, will be printing this separately.
Yes, technically, in fact, you can issue your receipt from the.
Yeah, with what I'm trying to suggest, no, papasok yan. Kasi with that system, lalang malilesen yung human error.
Yes,
kasi
I agree.
there's no need to key in the document.
Correct. Oo, sir.
So, papasok na yun na magbabasa.
So tama. We will now encourage your clients to prescribe to their suppliers to use the system para yung system niyo mabilis.
Yeah, that's the ideal.
And everybody speaks the same language.
Yes.
Everybody speaks the same language. Yeah. Ayun, ayos na. I think that's a very key point to cascading the application, which is based on law, to really help the taxpayers in the Philippines. Miss Karen, do you have any ideas? Do you have any insights on what you've heard and listened to so far? Mr. Karen?
Yes po. Ang ganda po ng vision niyo with this software kasi it's been a while since I got involved with Philippine taxes. So medyo magandang refresher po itong session na to. And then I also had a similar experience dun sa mga small and medium-sized firms in Australia. So, ginagamit na yung na-mention ni Sir Dennis kanina na zero na application. And I think kapag nag-work po itong software na ito, parang ito na yung magiging ka-level ng zero dito sa Philippines. Kasi parang parang wala pa akong alam na software na custom fit para sa needs ng dito sa Philippines. So, magandang vision siya. Pwede po namin i-test ni Mark.
Actually, ma'am, meron no? They call it one tax.
I see. Opo. Kaya kasi matagal na po akong I'm involved now with software testing So, it's been a while since na-refresh po ako from Philippine taxes.
Yes. I hope with Mr. Maestro here, no, with his software, no, it can be expanded and conform with what we are discussing right now.
Correct.
Just a question lang po.
Yeah.
Kasi in other countries, they call it bank feeds. Halimbawa ako, I have a bank account. Yung software na ginagamit ko has a direct link to my bank. So yung cash transactions can be fed automatically to the software. Yung software po ba na dine-develop nyo is it allowed na ba in the Philippines? And if it's allowed, pwede rin po kaya siyang i-incorporate doon sa software para mas mabilis na po yung recording.
Pwede naman yan basta't may consent yung depositor tsaka yung bangko. Mag-API kasi yan
Kasi rito, Karen, there is such a thing as for big taxpayer. They are enrolled BIR as EFPS filer. It is a separate system by the BIR. With this system, yung sinasabi mo, pwede yun. No? If you will be qualified as an EFPS filer. But to incorporate to this system, and then papasok dun sa to your bank, I think it has to be studied pa. Kasi dito sa atin, alam mo naman dito, yung bangko rito, we always advise our client when they are in an EFS filer to set up a separate account for the BIR. Kasi mahirap na eh. Maraming hackers dito eh.
Yeah.
No?
Kasi with the birth of yung syempre yung pandemic po, parang nag-increase na rin yung mga online transactions online banking. So, ayun, maganda rin po sana na ma-incorporate. Kaya lang hindi ko pala naging practice pa dito sa Philippines.
Yeah. Well, at least these ideas are coming out. So these are definitely areas that we want to move into and further develop, right? But at least first we now have the ground zero, so to speak. We have our basic platform, and I think from this platform now we can build in precisely the customization services depending on the level or degree that the specific enterprise or company or individual needs such services.
Okay.
So Rico, if we wanna play with the software,
Play and break it. That's what we need.
wala naman po kami mess up na real accounts, no?
No.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Kasi every account that we set up is separate.
Okay po.
So you can put in imaginary gazillions in there. Break the system talaga. We'd appreciate that, so we know exactly what we're looking at, because when we start really going live for all this, I mean, we're ready to go live, but precisely we wanted this whole group so that we know just how good the system is and how well we can really take this to the market. And the vision, of course, is precisely to help a lot of Filipinos generate a fortified system for their accounting business, whether it's bookkeeping, whether it's a full-blown accounting system like Sir Ricky has, or with tax consultancy thrown in. Sir Ricky also does that, and we do that as well with ETM and the whole 9 yards, right? So we can do all this, and we'd like to empower more people to be able to do this, so that there is less corruption. Excuse me. Okay, so any other insightful ideas? Please feel free to interject. Okay, none. So let's Jack. Maybe Jack, can you create a what platform would you guys prefer? Messenger, Viber, to communicate. What's easier? Is Messenger easier? Is everybody good with Messenger?
I'm good with Messenger.
Let's create a group. So if anyone has a question, let's make it a group question. If that's okay. So Jack, can you kindly create a group message for everybody?
Okay, sir.
All right, that's it. Thank you very much for your time. Sir ETM, I'll call you.
Oh, sige. Yeah. So thank you very much. See you later.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir.
All right. Celeste, thank you.
Hello, sir.
Congratulations. I think you have not been able to explain the tax BOA in a simple and straightforward manner as you have today. So clear, so elucidated. Galing. Ganda ng presentation nyo kasi natumbok nyo lahat ng contextual barriers eh. from the language barrier of viewing taxation as a language, the point at which the accounting system has to be compliant with the tax code, being the progression of how the entries are prepared from the source documents to the tax BOA, and from the tax BOA to the specific reports and returns. So, ang galing.
Yun nga gusto ko maintindihan, sir. Kaya nga sabi ko sa iyo, ginawa ko to para yung walang alam sa taxation tsaka sa accounting, madali nilang maintindihan.
Hindi mawawala.
Nawawala.
Although lahat naman ng inimbita ko, talagang may alam sa accounting kasi gusto ko nga talaga to. Ang ganda ng idea ni Ricky, di ba? Ganda ng idea ni Ricky. So yung
plug in, sir. Plug in yung gusto niya. Plug in yun.
Okay.
Hindi siya kasama sa software.
Hindi lang plug-in, sir. Ibig ko sabihin, sir, halimbawa ako, Clinico, Mimo, sasabihin ko sa lahat ng supplier ko, dapat ito rin yung software na gamitin nyo.
Ganun lahat yan, sir.
Para yung invoice na bibigay nyo sa akin, automatic nakapasok na sa system ko. Hindi meron tayo agad economy.
Oo nga, totoo yan.
Di ba, sir? Sabi mo, tag-100 piso lang lahat sa isang buwan. Kung 100,000 ka agad na magsasign up sa atin, edi yun na yun, at least meron na tayong baseline, di ba? Ang bilis nito. Ang bilis nitong lalaki, sir. Tapos, ang malaking bread and butter natin dalawa palagi, yung dito na natin magaganap, sir, lahat ng idea mo dati, from gusto mo magkaroon ng tax insurance. Ngayon, pasok na natin yung idea ng tax insurance, sir. Di ba?
Yes.
Pwede yun. Kasi kung sakali, ayan, gamit mo na yung software namin. Kung meron ka pang BIR problem mo, mag-insure ka na. Baka kung sakali magka-problema ka pa, o kami nasasagot yan. Kasama na sa insurance yan. Tapos naka-define naman sa insurance kung ano yung benefits mo. Di ba, sir?
Totoo yung sinasabi mo.
Ayun, perfect. Dami. Ang galing. Ang galing, sir. So, na-record nyo, sir, ha?
Ay, teka mo.
Ang gagawin natin ngayon yan,